Yes, hi. Hello, good morning, good evening, what time of day? It's been pretty bad out here in this big city of London today. Snow, blowing snow, grissom. Now I'm getting worried here too about Wednesday because that's the day I head back to Hamilton from London, Ontario. I just hope the train, I hope the railroad, I hope the train is, going to be running. I don't know what I'm going to do if the train can't get through this near blizzard Arctic conditions that happening outside because it is blowing and drifting snow. It's nasty. And it's supposed to go on to into Wednesday and end on Thursday, it's supposed to let up. Now, that got me worried because I don't know if I could afford to stay another night in London, unless I book a room unless I run to some women's shelter someplace and do that for a night. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to get that myself, and I didn't want to do that anyway because I do take it off my old age anyway. So, oh boy, I don't know how to put this. Well, I can figure it out. Yeah, the International Youth Hostel in downtown, London here, International Youth Hostel. I could walk in there and just grab a dorm bed for a night there, and which is not my cup. I don't like doing that either. I did in with a bunch of guys, stuff like that. Okay, now I gotta figure something out. Anyways, oh boy, it's really ridiculous. I mean, I don't know what to do here. In that case, well, Bealville had to cancel my trip on that due to weather on that. I mean, they better provide me an alternate accommodation in a hotel or something, someplace temporary overnight till the following day when I can get the train. That's the only thing I can say. They better do that because I don't want to be wandering around all night looking for some place to stay and be put in some very bad situation. I don't want to go into right now. Anyway, so, well, I don't know. I have to work on this on Wednesday. Again, I have to come to that bridge Wednesday. No, I'm worrying now. I'm just hopefully the weather will cut a break here Wednesday. Because it's been near blizzard conditions. Well, and I don't know how much money. If I know I have enough money in a bank account, I could get a room for a night somewhere, like a cheap motel room someplace on Dundas Street East here. There are lot of cheap motels. I could probably grab one there with taxes and all that. But not my cup of tea. It's bad and rest assured. Now, I don't know. I have to figure that one out. And I got to know I have to drop my teeth. I may have to take an emergency. Might have to emergency accommodation on Wednesday night as a storm keeper and try get out on a Friday, maybe. But also too, I'm gonna show up at train station Wednesday and see go from there. And if I find out the run train I'm going on was canceled due to this snowstorm, then I'm gonna ask there. I'm gonna talk to the station master about arranging for a one night accommodation in one of the hotels nearby the station. There are tons in downtown London, depending on which one, just one night until tomorrow when they get back on the train again tomorrow. So and get my ticket revalidated for Thursday, at least then I know things are better. But I haven't done this, I haven't decided yet. I don't know. I'm getting worried now with the weather. It's Monday today. And the weather's worrying me because I want to get home on Wednesday. And while I hope I get home, I don't even know because this weather has really been touchy. There's been a lot of warning and advisories on the website for via rail. If it canceled, well, technically, if a train were canceled, they will have to provide some form of accommodation till following day. And that means that if I were to push it hard enough, I know they have to do that. Under law, if they had to cancel a run due to extreme weather circumstances, like like it was, they had to literally cancel a train. They have to buy accommodation. They don't, and you know what? And then I'm gonna have to find out how much money I got in the bank. Go to go to Libra, use my find out how much money I have in the bank, and try to rent a room for a night somehow. But I don't want to do this. I know I may have to, but worst case scenario, I'm gonna talk to Airbnb hostess on there on Wednesday before I leave and ask her. 'Cause I know it's empty on Wednesday night. I'm gonna say to her, yeah, if train canceled due to weather, I'm gonna say, well, is it possible to over until Thursday because I know we don't have anything coming in on Thursday. Is that possible or not? And then hopefully she may say, yeah, because the weather's inclement and out there, and I will see that. Then if I did see say yes, you can do that. That no problem because I know it. Like I know. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, I will do it. But this is very not good for me because I'm worried now. Yeah. Well, this is a test. God is testing me, and maybe I'm being tested by God on this to see how I handle this type of situation. Maybe someday in future I'm gonna really have to handle it, and maybe someday end up at North Pole where I really gotta do it. Who knows? But I think I've been listening to winds, looking at things, feeling the wind, the directions. I've been listening to winds and looking at the barometers and looking at the weather and sort of look at animal sign but the weather networks say it's supposed to go into Wednesday. Wow. I've been looking at other signs, nature signs. I look at little bush signs being happening. I'm not going what is happening out there. Number one, you got a low pressure area that rotating around like a weather ball. Number two, that this is slowly moving. I noticed too that the what is happening now is the winds have died down, which is great. But I think maybe tomorrow it could be better tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday to be done with. Now I estimating the amount of the where it is, the weather network is just saying like one thing. But I've been looking at animal life. I've been looking at birds, geese. I've been looking at the pattern right now and the wind and how snow will come, low sun, low snow, low sun. And that telling me something there. But when you start seeing sunlight a bit, little sun poking through the clouds, and then you got snow coming one after another, that it give me a lot of information that the barometer is going up. The snow is starting to dissipate. I know things are dissipate this afternoon quite a bit, a little bit here and there. Like it will come down, dissipate, and start up. Now I got a feeling sometime within overnight night it's gonna dissipate, blow itself out of the area by time, and then I feel that with that done, that it's gonna be nice, want the cold air right behind it. That will be grateful to be. Yeah, will be happiness to be. Anyway, so I believe that maybe I see something tomorrow just by looking at the nature, just by feeling the wind, looking at the pattern the snow is drifting in. The winds are coming from east and what got east and coming from west. They're coming from north too. So that tells me quite a lot too. If there's that in the way, there's quite a lot of ground to cover, and I believe that once the winds die down, I think winds will die down by tomorrow morning. I believe it or not, just by looking at them, just by feeling a sense that they're starting to that the storm is puttering out of moisture, puttering. Storm is starting to putter out here. This, but still got me worried because what where if this storm putter here may not be puttering out in Hamilton. We'll putter out. It putter out a couple hours. Putter out the next day in Hamilton. That I do know. Well, anyways, Maine or whatever. So I'm wondering. I don't know everything about this weather. The weather forecasts are very undeniable. I mean, they can't seem to get the forecast. When I see that in a pattern, know that tell me there? When I see it in a pattern here, that'll give me information. What kind of information there? Oh my God. That'll give me a lot of info here. That's better. That's better now. I can got a bit of light in the wrong position here. That's better for me. That better. Yeah. But that gives me something, That's sort of give me an idea. I think it's very different by looking at the signs of the wind, feel of the wind, listening to wind, using my Aboriginal sense in this situation, using some Aboriginal sense that elders taught me on sick days how to look at judge weather. I would say this probably may end overnight tonight within and probably be gone by tomorrow night. Estimating my time, I probably can estimate just by wind just blowing, going like, I guess going that way. Yeah, and the drifting patterns of the snow and the way the snow been falling and how it's been falling and what the winds are doing. I make a judgment call. I will see by then tomorrow, I think this whole weather front will be pretty much far off to the east because wind, because they're not gonna linger that long. They don't linger long. They do, and cold air dry and not full of moisture. But this is pretty latent still. But the moisture is starting to dissipate out. And when that happened, what did that tell me? That didn't know that the snow is disappearing with it. Anyways, enough said about that. And I just worry that hopefully I get home. If not, I'm gonna have to do something. I have to find out, you know, something. Yeah, make a phone call or find out what I can do if I can't get home. Uh, Talk to via rail. See if they will provide me accommodation, which they have to. If the train cancel, I know they have to do it. I know not because it falls into the rule. If I had to cancel a train due to unrelated extreme weather conditions, well, they have to buy accommodation and reschedule my ticket for a following day at the same time anyway. So hopefully they do that. If it not, if it was canceled, if it gonna go through, I get on it. I eventually get to Aldershot. It might be late, but at least I get there. I don't know. All this it's sort of the weather right now got me concerned enough that and I use my own animals. I use my had these the weather network. They're bringing very vague stuff, and it like they don't even know. They guessing. They don't know the pattern. Well, they're guessing because they don't know how to forecast. Well, weather network is sort of guessing. Well, take an estimated guess on stuff. So when they start guessing, then they're baffled. That means meteorologists are baffled on this. No, what should we do? How are we baffled? I mean, when we are baffled and not telling me something, they don't know that. And I looking at signs of nature, I can say by looking at what I see, the wind, the pattern, I listen to the wind sometimes. Being that's elders in the sick they taught me how to listen. The elder told me how to do that. and I done it. I listened to the wind. I listened to look at blowing snow patterns, and they're able to determine that the wind is dropping down quite a lot, and with the wind going down and wind speed, I say that we may be into and seeing breaks in the clouds this afternoon. Little break, but sun have come out now. Two things come to my mind. A, that the storm is starting to pass, higher pressure moving in, pushing this weather off to the east. So the whole thing is starting to dissolve right now. And it's possibly dissolving. That what does that tell me? Well, by seeing that, looking at patterns, I can estimate by my natives, my elders, my land, connected land, and my land sense tell me that this storm should be over by this time tomorrow, earlier than they predicted. But the weather networks say other things, so they don't know how to. The system can't give a model of this, so it is difficult. And what I gotta say is one thing. Well, out tonight, be careful, drive with caution, and don't tempt anything that you don't need to tempt, and stay off the roads until the snowplow getting clear. Make sure bad car parked on the street. May want to move out of the way for snowplow can do the job that needs it done. I know guys that snowplow are hardworking people. They deserve it. Anyway, I'm glad you listen, blog, and hopefully, hopefully, I'm praying God I will get home on Wednesday safe and sound without having to, you know, begging them for room accommodation for a night. Anyway, I hopefully I do. I worry now. It get me worrying me a bit, because of the weather. I wasn't expecting this weather this weekend. I was expecting it to be pretty average, but all of a sudden you get hit with this last minute all week. Well, that really got me worried. Now it get me worried even more because it slowed down my also. I gotta leave. I'm gonna leave Wednesday. I'm gonna try to get there and scoot around Galleria and go to the train station. If I have to, find out what is going on, if that train is going to be canceled or not. Hope we feel will get that and then see if not, if they can't get me a hotel room for temporary room for a night the following day and come back the following day when they're really over for sure. But I don't want that is really sort of up in the air right now due to weather. Well, I could I get if it's going, I'm gonna go no matter where it is snowing out. I'm getting to where I gotta get to home. I'm gonna get there on Wednesday, no matter what the cost. If I do get on the train, I'll get on and I will get there, no matter what the cost. If I can't get there, then I'll get there. Might be late, at least it's so. Anyway, enough said about that. I'm gonna have to say, blog is now over. And I say, thank you for listening. This is not one I planned to. I use my own native sense to that but I learned from years from native elders on a powwow trail. You learn things. You look at weather. I was looking at weather last night, and I look at weather right now, and I see the pattern there. The pattern tell me the pattern breaking down. The front low pressure starting to break down and higher pressures are canceling out the low. Anyway, that means cold air getting drier, and when it gets dry, guess what? It doesn't hold much moisture. So I think by the time it gets cold enough, this snow can end before tomorrow. I can see that coming just by looking at the weather signs. I think, and yeah, I don't. Usually I say, but when weather network can't predict the outcome, I gotta be cautious on this too, because I think forecasters don't know what to look and know how to. They can look at computer model. Computer can't identify it like already figured out. myself from just by observing the weather. I've been observing it like today and monitor, look at winds and speeds and directions. So what happening if these winds are sort of dying down? When the wind die down, so do the snow squall activity all over.